welcome to my YouTube channel today. I haven't posted a yoga video in a really long time just because, to be honest, life has been getting very much on top of me recently, and I'm sure you guys know how it is. Certain things just seem to fall down to one side, and I wish that I could have kept putting them out, but hopefully you've been able to do some that are still on my channel because I've got plenty there. But today, last week was Mental Health Awareness Week, and as someone who suffers from depression and who used to suffer from mild anxiety, nothing too bad, I thought it would be quite poignant and quite relevant to film a yoga flow that focused on one of the most widely experienced mental illnesses, which is anxiety. So many people have anxiety, and actually one of my followers over my Instagram requested this, and I just felt, yes, that makes so much sense. I need to do a yoga video for anxiety. And whilst you can argue that all yoga can help anxiety, just some of the postures that I've picked today, as well as our focus, is really going to be on bringing you back to center, focusing on that breath, and just hopefully kind of giving you some tools so that when you're out in the world, you're not on your yoga mat, and you do start to get that feeling of, I don't know, just that tightness in your chest or wherever you might feel your anxiety, you're able to kind of bring yourself back into this safe space that we'll create together today. Something that you can easily come to whenever things get a little bit tough, okay? I've got 2 bricks here, just in case. If you have bricks in your possession that you can have, then I would recommend having them just in case you need them. If you don't have bricks, then don't worry, we'll do without them, it's perfectly fine. But if you do have them, obviously use them if you can, okay? Alright, so we're just going to start off with a little bit of breath work, a little bit of pranayama, and all I'm going to ask you to do is start to close the eyes down. Allow the hands to just rest wherever is comfortable. You don't have to be cross-legged, you could be kneeling, you could be sat down, just in any position that is comfortable for you. And all I'm going to ask you to do to begin with is to just tune in to any sounds around you that you can hear right now. So start to just draw your attention kind of off the mat for a moment, just into maybe the room around you, or perhaps there are sounds going on outside of the room, perhaps outside on the street that you can hear, and just notice those sounds. What can you hear? Just kind of bring yourself onto that sound wavelength. Perfect. Now just start to bring your awareness into your physical body. And quite often when we experience anxiety, we get a physical feeling somewhere in our body. Mine is up in my chest, and I start to just feel almost like an ache or a really tightening feeling in my chest. So I'm going to ask you to bring your right hand with palm touching whichever part of the body you start to feel your anxiety. So where is your physical manifestation of your anxiety? Wherever it is, just place the right palm over that space and just start to breathe into that space. So even if it's not over the chest, can you imagine that your inhale is bringing that air all the way into the body, through the nasal cavity, down the throat, and into the space, whether it's in your stomach. If it's in your stomach, can you feel the air just drawing down into that space? And as you exhale, I'm going to ask you to imagine the air that's coming out through your nose or your mouth is just taking away, piece by piece, just a small amount of that anxiety feeling. So it's almost like you start to see your anxiety within your body as an object. And then as you exhale, slowly that anxiety, just little by little, is just taken out into the air around you and away from your body. Inhale, get that air coming all the way in. And as you exhale, just imagine something leaving the body. Good, and again, inhale. Exhale, just imagine a little piece of that tightness leaving the body. One more big inhale, fill the lungs, breathe into that space. And as you exhale, just let a little bit of that anxiety leave the body. Good, slowly start to lower that right hand down. Just bring your hands to rest either in the lap or on tops of the knees. Take a nice big inhale. Open the mouth now and exhale out through the mouth. Good, let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, really sigh it out. One more time for luck. Big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Good, perfect. Okay, slowly just start to open the eyes. And I'm just going to walk the hands forwards and just come into a nice tabletop position. So onto the hands and onto the knees. And we'll do some cat-cows just to warm the body up, okay? So we're going to move with the breath here. So untuck toes, make sure tops of toes are pressing down into the mat. Hands are underneath shoulders. On your next inhale, start to really lengthen tailbone up towards the ceiling, drop the stomach, draw those shoulder blades back, gaze comes forwards. Good, and then as you exhale, take everything under, start to press hands into the mat. Good, draw the chin in towards the chest. Nice, inhale, start to draw everything back and through. Exhale, start to press everything away. Good, inhale, draw everything through. Exhale, take everything under. Perfect, and then just start to lengthen the knees out, or widen the knees out, sorry, so that the knees are a little bit wider than the hips. Big toes come to touch the back of the mat. Just start to sit yourself back into a child's pose. Allow the hands to lengthen forwards, but keep the elbows up, so elbows don't come down onto the mat, forehead comes down, and then just rise up onto the fingertips here, and just take a couple of rolls through the shoulders here, okay? So whole arm is lifted off the mat, so just on those fingertips, and then just take a couple of rolls through the shoulders. Maybe you want to walk your hands a little bit further forwards, get a good stretch, and then you can just flatten the palms down, lower the forearms down, and just rest here for a very brief moment. Feel the weight of your sitting bones really grounding down into your heels. Notice how grounded you are here. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale. Good, then start to tuck the toes under. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. Spread those fingers nice and wide. We'll lift up into a downward facing dog. So start to pedal through the heels here, drawing one heel down, bending the opposite knee. Sorry guys, I've got a bad cold today, but it's all good. Come to rest back in stillness. Allow those heels to draw down towards the mat. Don't be afraid of having a slight bend in the knees. Take a big inhale, start to look towards the fingers. And then we're just going to walk our way all the way up to the top of the mat. Take feet about hip width distance apart here. Slight bend the knees for me. Just relax the head down, take hold of opposite elbows. Maybe take a little bit of a rock from side to side. Good, then relax the arms, and then nice and slowly we'll roll all the way up to stand. And as your head lifts, draw the shoulders all the way up around the ears, and then take them back. Hands come to rest at heart center. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, lift the arms all the way up. We'll just come through a nice little flow. As you exhale, start to fold all the way down, coming into your forward fold Uttanasana. As you inhale, halfway lift, lengthen that spine halfway. As you exhale, let's plant those hands, step back into a high plank. We'll lower the knees down, untuck back toes. As you're pressing yourself down here, allow those elbows to just gently brush the sides of the body as you press all the way down. Inhale, lift up into a nice baby cobra, not too high. Exhale, tuck those toes. Press yourself back into a half child's pose, and then lift the knees and come in up into a nice downward facing dog. Take a big inhale.
And exhale. And again, inhale, fill as the lungs fill up. And exhale. Good, all right. From here, start to lift up that right leg. We'll keep the hips square and then slowly start to draw that knee forwards towards the nose. And we're going to step this right foot down between the hands. And if you don't quite reach the top of the mat, don't be afraid to grab hold of that ankle and bring it all the way up to the top, all right? Lower this back knee down for me and tuck back toes. Press down to this front heel. Start to drive all the way up through that front leg. Engage that left glute as well. And just start to lift those arms. And don't really reach for the ceiling here. I want those shoulders to just be relaxing down into the sides of the body. Good. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale now, right hand comes down past the right thigh, just to place on the back of the left leg. And then with this left hand, just take the outside of that right thigh. Inhale, find some length. And as you exhale, just come round into a nice twist. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, see if you can twist around just a little bit more. And as you inhale, come all the way back to center. Plant the hands either side of that front foot, tuck under those back toes. We'll step back into a high plank. If you have full chaturanga in your practice, feel free to go there. Otherwise, take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, lower those knees, untuck toes, press yourself all the way down. And as you inhale, start to lift that chest, baby cobra. Exhale, we tuck toes, push back, downward facing dog. Good, nice big inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, start to lift that left leg. Exhale, we draw that knee all the way towards the nose, shoulders come above those wrists, and then step that foot down between the hands, lower the back knee, and tuck back toes. Pressing down into that left heel, start to engage that right glute, and then really pushing down, engaging this front thigh, start to rise up. Low crescent lunge. Remember, relax those shoulders down. Take a big inhale. And exhale. Good. One more inhale. And as you exhale, left hand just floats down past that left thigh. Take that hand to rest on the back of the right thigh. And then that right hand comes to the outside edge of that left thigh. Take an inhale. Find some length of the spine. And as you exhale, just come round a little bit more. Good, one more inhale, find some length. Exhale, come round. Good, inhale, come back. Let's frame that front foot. Stepping back to your high plank. Going through your vinyasa. Maybe those knees lower and you come with me. Maybe high plank to low plank. Inhale to lift that chest. And as you exhale, tuck those toes, press back. Downward facing dog, nice big inhale. Good, let's take another big inhale. Exhale. Good. On your next inhale, start to look towards the hands, and then we're just going to start to walk the feet all the way up towards the top of the mat. Come into a nice big forward fold here once again. Slight bend of those knees for me, taking hold of opposite elbows. Maybe just take a bit of a sway from side to side. And just notice how you are feeling in your body right now. So what sensations are going on? Are you a little bit more warm? How are you feeling in your chest? Can you feel your heartbeat? What's your breath doing? Just noticing these questions, asking yourself, okay? No right or wrong answers. Just get to know yourself a little bit better. Alright, let's start to release hands down, bend those knees, draw the belly button in, and then we'll just start to roll our way all the way up to stand. Stay facing where you are. I'm just going to move to face you so that it's explained what's happening, okay? Okay, so we're going to start on the right foot. So start to really ground down into that right foot, and we're coming into our tree pose, okay? So you have three options for your tree. You can either just bring that left foot to kickstand here, or you can bring it up into the calf, or perhaps you take a hold of that foot and bring it all the way up into the inside of that right thigh, okay? Whichever you choose is perfectly fine, okay? I would so much rather you have your foot down on the mat in kickstand than like wobbling all over the place up in here, okay?
As long as it feels like it's a balance for you and it's like an effort, then it's perfect, okay? And then have a tiny, tiny bend in that grounded leg, just so that we don't hyperextend. Make sure the foot isn't on the knee, and then just bring those hands together at heart center. Allow those shoulders to draw back. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. I'm going to ask you now to bring your awareness right down into that right foot, okay? Can you notice those really tiny movements that are happening in that foot right now that are keeping you stable, that you're not even having to think about? Can you really bring your awareness into those sensations, okay? Even if you're wobbling from side to side and you're swaying like an actual tree, it's perfect. I just want you to notice what's going on. Draw that awareness in, okay? Good, take a nice big inhale. Exhale. If you want to, you can keep the hands at heart center, or perhaps you'd like to start lifting the arms all the way up. I would avoid bringing hands together. If you really want to, then of course you can. But just see if you can keep those arms apart, okay? Take a big inhale here. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. And then start to bring those hands back to heart center. Slowly just start to release that left foot all the way down to the mat. Maybe give that right foot a little bit of a shake. And then just come to close the eyes down and center yourself here. Okay guys, let's go straight onto the other side. So now grounding down into the left foot, and then we'll bring the inside of the right foot, again, either up to kickstand, maybe up into the calf, or perhaps you bring it up into that thigh. Again, just picking whichever feels challenging for you, but you're not going to fall over and just force yourself to do something, okay? And then let's bring those hands together at heart center. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale. Lovely. All right. And then just continue breathing like this. Perhaps you want to lift the arms all the way up. Drawing that awareness once again down into that grounded foot. So you can notice those really tiny movements, those intricate movements that are happening in that grounded foot and the ankle right now, just to keep you stable. Okay. Good. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let's start to bring those hands back to heart center. And then as and when you are ready, start to just lower that foot all the way down. Maybe give the left leg out a little bit of a shake. Perfect. All right. And then from here, come to stand at the top of your mat once again. Maybe bring those feet slightly closer towards one another. Take a big inhale, start to lift the arms. Exhale, slowly start to lower all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale, we'll come into a halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands, step back into your high plank, and then either come through a vinyasa or, like me, just start to bend those knees, push yourself back into a nice big downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Good. Slowly start to lift the right leg, and then we're going to bend that top leg, point through those toes, and just start to open up that right hip. So right hip starts to aim to stack upon that left hip. If you want to take a couple of circles with that lifted knee, then go for it. Maybe they're feeling super tight. Alright, from here start to draw that knee forward. We're coming into our half pigeon, okay? So right knee comes towards that right wrist. The right foot comes behind the left hand, either close up to it like mine, or maybe it's closer back towards your groin, it doesn't matter. And then just start to walk the left toes and the left knee back down behind you. Untuck those back toes for me. Try to get most of your weight sitting down into the hips. If you would like, you can bring a brick underneath that right hip. And then just start to allow yourself to lower down, first of all maybe onto the forearms, and then perhaps you can start to just reach the hands ahead. Forehead comes all the way down, and just start to settle here. And once again, like we did at the start of class, focusing this time on that right hip, maybe the outside of the hip where it's feeling super tight. As you inhale, imagine the air is coming all the way down through the lungs, through the stomach, and down into that hip. So take a nice deep inhale. Imagine the air traveling all the way down. As the air reaches that hip, it collects some of that tension as you exhale, maybe up through the mouth here, or perhaps through the nose.
Your exhale just takes some of that tension out into the air, away from your body. And then once again, take a nice big inhale and exhale. Good, take 2 more like these. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll just start to lift the head, walk the hands back towards that front foot, tuck under those back toes. You might want to walk that foot forwards a little bit. Press your weight down into those hands, lift that back knee, and we're just going to step ourselves back into a downward facing dog. Feel free to take a couple of pedals through the heels here. Moving on to the other side, let's start to lift up the left leg, start to bend, open that hip, point through those toes, maybe take just a couple of circles of that lifted knee. Good, nice, and then start to draw that left knee towards the left wrist. That foot comes down behind the right wrist. Walk that right foot back as much as you need. When you're ready, let's untuck those toes, make sure your weight is down through those hips, and then start to allow yourself to fold over that front leg. Maybe bring the forehead all the way down. And once again, as you inhale, that breath is coming all the way down into that left hip, collecting all of that stagnation, all of that tightness and tension that you don't need. And as you exhale, you're just taking that out of your body, taking it out into the air so that the earth can utilize that energy, regenerate it, and turn it into something much more beneficial. So take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let all that tension go. One more like this, inhale. Exhale, just let any tension fall out through your lips. Perfect. And slowly let's start to lift up once again. Walk the hands back. This time we'll just sit down into that left hip. Start to draw that right leg out in front of you. Left leg comes out in front of you. And then maybe just shimmy yourself down. So we're going to come to like all the way down now. We're very nearly done. Now maybe time to go back to whatever it is that you were doing before. So before we go there, just start to draw your arms all the way back behind you, point through those toes, take yourself into a nice long stretch, just ironing out any final creases that you need to get rid of, and then just come to settle those arms down by the sides, legs apart ever so slightly, closing the eyes down. And I would like you to do the same with your breath here. So we're going to take 4 breaths here, and as you inhale, finding any tension in the body, absolutely anywhere with your inhale. Let that inhale go all the way down into that space where you feel tension. As you exhale, just let the air fall out, taking that tension away. Inhale, draw the air all the way in. Find that tension. As you exhale, just let the air take it out. And again, inhale. Exhale, let the tension leave the body. Final time, nice big inhale. Exhale, just allow that tension to leave the body. Good. Slowly now, just start to draw the knees up into the chest, wrap arms around your shins, give yourself your biggest, best hug you've ever given yourself because you deserve it. Maybe start to bring a smile to your lips, see how that changes how you feel. And then rolling onto whichever side feels best, we'll just come up into a comfortable seated position to finish. So just find a comfortable seated position. Eyes are still closed. Draw those hands together at heart center. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale. Take a moment to just appreciate this little space that you've created for yourself today. Feel your sitting bones grounding down into the mat. And just know that you've created this space yourself. I haven't really done anything today, it's all been you. So whenever things get tough, whenever you start to feel that feeling in your body that you feel when you get anxiety, understand that you are in control of that feeling, okay? You have control to breathe in nice and deep. And as you exhale, maybe just send some of that anxiety out with you. It doesn't have to be all of it, okay? This is just a small part of the bigger picture of helping to deal with your anxiety. Just remember that
You're never alone. You always have your yoga mat. You always have me on YouTube. You always have friends and family around you. You are loved. I think that's the most important thing to always remember here, okay? Just to finish, let's take one final inhale. Open the mouth, exhale. Doesn't that feel good? All right, so let's start to bring those thumbs up to rest in between the eyebrows. Exhale, bow the head down. And namaste, yogis. Anyway, hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, whatever you're doing. If you're going straight to sleep, enjoy. If it's your morning, have a fabulous day. Please like, subscribe, leave comments if you have any constructive or things that you would like to see more of. And as always, I'm over on Instagram every day too. Hopefully I'll be back next Sunday with another flow. And yeah, have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, you're never alone, okay? And you have this safe space. So thank you very much and have a lovely day. Bye.